there, I'm Dan of Dan and Jason, and I am incredibly excited to talk to you about Barb the Last Berserker. Barb the Last Berserker is our new epic fantasy adventure graphic novel for middle grade readers coming out with Simon & Schuster in September of 2021. It's the story of this young hero who has to save her fellow warriors from the clutches of the evil villain Witchhead before he destroys the world. It's a story that's about adventure and friendship and really about finding your own path. Okay, I'll let my partner and creative genius, Jason Patterson, tell you a little bit more about it.
Hey, I'm Jason, the other half of Dan and Jason, and thanks, Dan, for that great intro. But really, for me, like, the thing that I love the most about the story are the two characters at the heart of it, which is Barb and Porkchop. So Barb is this fearless hero who is really good, and she's trying to save the world. She really wants to do the right thing. And one thing that drives her crazy is bullies. So she just can't stand it when someone's being mean to someone else, which is such an awesome trait in a character. And then Porkchop is kind of the opposite in a lot of ways with Barb. He starts off being a bully, and he's kind of a thief, and he steals stuff, and all he really cares about is eating and creature comforts. But together they form this great dynamic because they really care about each other. Like, Barb really loves Porkchop, and Porkchop totally loves Barb. And their friendship is kind of the magic that kind of keeps you going through this story, and it's so much fun to see them bounce off each other. Just want to say thanks for checking out this video, and a big shout out to Allie for organizing all this, and also hello to Bologna. Thank you for watching this video, and we can't wait to show you our comic, Barb the Last Berserker. Okay, thanks. Bye.
Hi, my name is Scott Sangiacomo. I am the author and illustrator of Bedhead Ted, a new middle grade graphic novel coming this August from HarperCollins. I'm here in Massachusetts, and I'm thrilled to be part of the Spring 21 International Highlights and to share my debut graphic novel with you.
Meet Ted. He lives in the town of Brookside, and he's always had one big problem: his hair. No matter what he does, haircuts, gels, or hats, nothing tames his unruly mane. So starting the 4th grade is going to be an adventure, to say the least. And one of the big obstacles to overcome will be the teasing from bullies. After all, that's how he got his name, Bedhead Ted. Luckily, Ted has his best friend Stacy to help him make it through. So when Stacy becomes obsessed with Brookside's mythical beast, a giant raccoon terrorizing the town, Ted is there to help him unravel the mystery. But when a few new friends enter the mix, Ted's friendship with Stacy gets a little rocky. Feeling alone and at his lowest, Ted discovers something amazing about his hair. For the first time in his life, Ted wonders if his hair just may be a gift rather than an epic curse. Could his out-of-control hair be the one thing that not only helps him solve the mystery of the Brookside Beast, but also gets his best friend back?
So this is a story about friendship and family and the power of being you. I hope this is a character and story that connects with readers all over the world, and I can't thank you enough for taking the time to watch. Take care.
Hello, my name is Donna Higuera, and my book, The Last Cuentista, which means The Last Storyteller, is due to release with Levine Garrido in August of 2021. This story is about a 12-year-old girl named Petra, and when Earth is ending in a catastrophic event, her parents, who are scientists, are chosen to leave Earth for another planet to terraform. And Petra is coming along for the ride with other passengers. It's a nearly 400-year journey. So during this time, they are able to use any downloads of information that they would like. As Petra wants to be a storyteller, she doesn't want to be a scientist like her parents. She chooses, of course, folklore and mythology, and she's bringing along all the stories of her grandmother's Mexican folklore and culture, as well as her ancestors. And this is what she aspires to be when she arrives to the new planet. Well, along the way, those who are monitoring them decide that humanity should have a different future than what it's been and decide to reprogram as many as they can. And those who either don't comply or are not reprogrammable don't make the journey. When Petra awakens, she discovers that she is the only one left with memories of Earth and her folklore and mythology and stories that she brought with her. And she decides that not only is she going to escape, she is going to make a life on this new planet with the other children who survived with her. And she is going to bring with her that folklore and mythology of her ancestors. It was a joy to write this book and let me delve into some of my background and the stories my grandmother told me. And I love Petra's journey and the idea of her taking this to a new planet into the future. Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm James Ponte, author of City Spies, and like you, I wish Bologna were face-to-face this year, but since it isn't, I downloaded some footage from a recent mission to give us a taste of the city and what we all have to look forward to next year. Just don't tell MI6 I'm the one who showed you.
Hi everyone, this is Jodie Lynn Anderson. My new book is called The Memory Thief. It's the first in a trilogy called The 13 Witches, and it's about a young girl who fights the worst witches in the world with the power of storytelling and her imagination. And it's a really personal and special story for me because it's really about how stories can save people in dark times and how stories and imagination are so powerful in pushing back against darkness and things in the world that we don't quite know how to cope with, and how imagination can conquer so many of the worst forces in the world. And so it's just been a real coping strategy for me to write this book, and in kind of uncertain times. And I think it's very empowering and hopeful, and I hope it feels that way to readers. And it's also hopefully funny and silly and quirky and all the things that I really kind of love including in my books, but it's also got sort of this deep meaning for me, and I hope that that kind of comes through to readers. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Nova Wheatman, and I'm a children's author from Melbourne, Australia. My book is called Sick Bay, and it came out in June 2019 in Australia, and it's coming out next year in the US, spring 2021, with Simon & Schuster. The new title is called It All Begins with Jelly Beans. The book, I guess, is about two girls, Meg and Riley. They're both 12, and they meet in the school sick bay. They think they have each other sussed out, but actually what unravels over the course of several weeks is these encounters in the sick bay where they begin to know each other in a different way. Meg is a loner. She is, I guess, avoiding school, avoiding bullies at school. So she's kind of hides out in sick bay reading Anne of Green Gables and trying not to be seen. Riley is type 1 diabetic, and so she goes to sick bay for medical reasons. The two of them get stuck together, and I guess it's really the story of learning who you want to be and who you want to have as a friend. And I hope you enjoy it. Thanks very much.
Hi, I'm Julie Sternberg, author of Summer of Stolen Secrets, which is due out June 1st, 2021. I live in Brooklyn now, but I grew up in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, which is a smaller city. And on Main Street in Baton Rouge, my family owned a department store. I'm going to show you now. This is the architect's rendering of the store as it was first conceived. And here is an overhead view of the store, which was quite large. I started working in the store when I was 5 years old. It dominated my childhood, everything from how I spent my Saturdays to every item of clothing that I wore. I always had to look good and represent the store. Here's a picture of me at a school dance. Everyone else is wearing a lovely dress, and I am wearing a velvet business suit. The person who ran the show in our family and in the store was my grandmother, Leah. She was small and very tough. She and her husband, my grandfather, fled Nazi Germany in the early 30s with my dad and his siblings because, of course, it was quite a bad situation for Jews then, and she and my family are Jewish. So I've always long wanted to write a book that tells the story of a department store in Baton Rouge and a tough grandmother like my grandmother. And so Summer of Stolen Secrets is that book. It tells the story of Kat, who is 13 years old. She lives in Brooklyn with her parents. They've had a terrible falling out with her very tough grandmother who lives in Baton Rouge. And Kat ends up spending the summer in Baton Rouge, working in her grandmother's department store with her very reckless cousin Lexi, who does things that no one approves of, including Kat. And Kat discovers in the department store a room where her grandmother has been keeping her secret. Kat steals the secrets, learns to understand her grandmother because of them, and helps to heal her broken family. I hope you enjoy the book.
Hi, I'm Brian Anderson, the writer and illustrator of The Conjures. I've been performing magic since second grade. My uncle was a charter member of the Magic Castle in Hollywood, California, and he taught me my first trick way back then, and I've been performing ever since. So these books really are a tribute to my love of the both performing magic and also the history of magic. And I based a lot of the characters on real magicians from the past and from the present. You might even recognize a few names that are slightly similar. But there's magicians from all over, from China, from France, from Australia, and of course from the United States. And one of my hopes was that maybe just a handful of readers might actually get the bug to take up the art of magic. And today what I wanted to show you was one of the tricks actually used in the book. This is an effect that Savaccia performs for the crowd at Plomboria. And I've had this trick since I was in 4th grade. And I haven't practiced it in a very long time, but one of the beauties of magic is sometimes you can always make it happen. Welcome to The Conjurian.
I'm the author of the #1 best-selling Animog series, also known as the Simon Thorne series, and I am so excited to announce that I have a new book for youth and middle grade readers called The Curse of the Phoenix, or Der Fluch des Phoenix in German, which I don't speak, so I am so sorry if that was terrible. Since its release in Germany, it has spent several months on Der Spiegel Youth Bestseller list, and it will be released in the US in May 2021 by Margaret K. McElderry Books. As for what it's about, please forgive me, I don't have this memorized. 12-year-old Zach and Lou grew up on their mother's stories of the Wildwoods, an imaginary land where mythical beasts roam free. These creatures fill the pages of Zach's sketchbooks and inspire Lou's love of animals, and on most days, they're the only thing the twins still have in common. When their mother dies, a heartbroken Lou and Zach are shipped off to England to spend the summer with relatives they've never met. It doesn't take the twins long to uncover the secret tucked away in the forest behind their ancestral home. Their mother's incredible stories about unicorns and dragons and centaurs weren't make-believe after all. Their family serves as keeper of the Wildwoods, the last place on Earth where these mythical creatures can live safe from human harm. But there are also many dangers in these lands, and they are bound by a terrible curse. When Lou and Zach fall victim to it, their only hope of escape depends on the very last phoenix left in the world. But will breaking the curse mean the end of the Wildwoods?